So I've played about an hour and a half of this new Harry Potter game. In that time frame, I already got an idea of the basic gameplay loop and what you're going to be doing the whole time you're playing. The gameplay loop itself is pretty boring. Play a couple minutes of the match, catch the snitch, and then finish by scoring a couple times. It's not anything special. I will say I did like how the game controls for the most part. The only issues I had kind of were drifting, which was more just the fact that drifting's loose and it's expected that you drift really tightly around the corners, especially when you're catching the snitch. Also, they allow you to customize every character on your team. I did one of them. I tried to make him look stupid and then I gave up and just made him look like an old woman. And then I don't know, I tried making something funny and it didn't let me do much funny, which automatic 2-point deduction. I know the point of this game is that you're playing the actual game in the Harry Potter universe, but I feel like the game gets a little repetitive really fast, especially if you're playing a couple matches in a row like in the cups they offer. And I know it's early in the game's life cycle and it could make these changes, but as of now, it is very lacking in stuff to do besides the same kind of gameplay loop over and over. The game also lets you customize with a skill tree, very fun. Then it has season rewards. I'm sure this won't cost any money. And wait a minute. Did I see that? Okay, maybe this game actually is pretty good. But I will say, I enjoy the game's art style a bit. I don't like how the characters look. I feel like they kind of look boring and all have the same kind of shape to them. I don't know how to describe it, but they don't really stand out from each other. I think the game's biggest issue is that besides being Harry Potter, it doesn't stand out in any way from the other free-to-play games you could play. There's not a good incentive to play this, and I think the issue is that it's not going to last long unless they make big changes really quickly, like add more content, because the content they have is just it's so lackluster and feels bare minimum. The game's also very reminiscent of the old Harry Potter Quidditch game from the PS2. And people still look back on this game fondly, so that shows that Quidditch itself is not a bad idea for a game, it just needs to be executed properly, and I think it could be.